In Ghana, there is a saying, "The world is not ruled by the strongest, but by the cleverest." And no one proves this more than Anansi. Anansi is a spider, small, fragile, easy to crush, but what he lacks in size, he makes up for in wit. In Akan folklore, Anansi is not a hero in the way warriors are heroes. He doesn't win battles with muscle or weapons. He wins by talking, tricking, and thinking 3 steps ahead, often while pretending to be foolish. Long ago, all the stories in the world belonged to Nyame, the sky god. Humans lived without wisdom, lessons, or entertainment. They had no stories to explain life, suffering, or joy. Anansi wanted those stories, so he climbed all the way to the sky and made Nyame an offer. "I want to buy your stories." Nyame laughed. "You?" he said. "A spider? Very well. If you want my stories, bring me 3 impossible things. First, Onini, the great python. Second, Mobro, the hornets. Third, Osebo, the fierce leopard." Nyame was certain Anansi would fail, but Anansi smiled. He did not fight the python. He tricked him, convincing Onini to stretch himself along a stick to prove his length. Once the python was bound, Anansi claimed his prize. He did not attack the hornets. He splashed water on them, warned of rain, and offered them shelter in a hollow gourd, then sealed them inside. And the leopard? Anansi dug a deep pit and covered it with leaves. When Osebo fell in, Anansi pretended to help, only to tie him tighter. One by one, Anansi brought the impossible gifts to Nyame. The sky god had no choice. He handed over the stories, and from that day on they were called Anansi Sem, Anansi stories. But here's the truth about Anansi. He is not always good. Anansi lies. He cheats. He is greedy, sometimes cruel. Many stories end with Anansi outsmarting others, and then being punished for his own arrogance. Sometimes he loses his family's respect. Sometimes he is humiliated. Sometimes he barely escapes the consequences of his own schemes. And that is intentional. Anansi stories are not meant to glorify trickery. They are meant to teach. They warn against pride. They expose hypocrisy. They show how intelligence can uplift or destroy depending on how it's used. During slavery, Anansi became even more important. His stories crossed the ocean with enslaved Africans. To them, Anansi represented survival, outsmarting power when strength was impossible, finding freedom in the mind when the body was trapped. That's why Anansi appears across the Caribbean, the Americas, and beyond. Because sometimes, wit is the only weapon left. In Ghanaian folklore, Anansi reminds us that intelligence is powerful, but responsibility matters. That cleverness without wisdom can turn on itself, and that even the smallest voice can change the world if it knows how to speak.